What is a superhero's main job? Is it to fight supervillains? Is it to show off their superpowers, or to accidentally destroy lots of buildings? I guess superheroes do a little bit of all those things, but if we were to name one thing that superheroes all do, it would be superheroes help people. Superheroes are known for helping people, but I have good news. You and I, as regular people, can be superheroes in our own way. Let's see how a regular person named Terrence demonstrates the overflowing love of Jesus in his life by stepping up to help a guy named Mark.
My name is Mark Moore. I have been living homeless in abandoned homes for about 4 years. I came from poverty. I was able to get a college degree, work in the professional world. You know, I had goals of achieving success in corporate America, but I carried a lifetime of mental and physical abuse from my childhood. I suffered from anxiety, neurosis, depression, being alone, carrying all this on your shoulders without having insight. It forced me really into a mental breakdown. The darkest moments of homelessness is the sense of helplessness, not being able to take a bath or shower or shave. You just feel like I can't make it and you just want to give up. Love Beyond Walls has helped me tremendously, make me an active part of society. Love Beyond Walls has gone through the process of helping me get identification, tracking down my birth certificate. They've helped me with clothing and a place to shower. They've given me a temporary place to stay. They've been a major part of me transitioning out of homelessness. You need help from others to get you out of homelessness, because you can't just do it by yourself. It's going to take helping hands along the way.
You know, in the same way that Terrence cared for Mark, heroes care for the people who were in front of them. Now, Terrence didn't save the world, but he did do something that made a difference for somebody. Jesus, on the other hand, did save the world, but that's not all he did. In fact, Jesus showed heroic love by caring for the people around him all the time. In fact, he encourages us to do the same. Check this out in John 13. Before the Passover celebration, Jesus knew that his hour had come to leave this world and return to his Father. He had loved his disciples during his ministry on earth, and now he loved them to the very end. It was time for supper, and the devil had already prompted Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had given him authority over everything, and that he had come from God and would return to God. So he got up from the table, and he took off his outer robe, wrapped a towel around his waist, and poured water into a basin. Then he began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with a towel he had around him. And after washing their feet, he put on his robe again and sat down and asked, "Do you understand what I was doing? You call me teacher and Lord, and you're right, because I am. And since I, your teacher and your Lord, have washed your feet, you ought to wash each other's feet. I've given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you, and I tell you the truth. Slaves are not greater than their master, nor is the messenger more important than the one who sends the message. Now that you know these things, God will bless you for doing them." And so then Jesus continues on in his discussion, and later he says these words. "So now I'm giving you a new commandment. Love one another, just as I have loved you. You should love each other. Your love for one another will prove to the world that you are my disciples." When we love each other, we are living as heroes, because heroes help the people who are right in front of them. If you want to be like Jesus and do a better job at caring for the people that are right in front of you, there are 4 words that I want to teach you. The first word is awareness. And our first step in caring for the people in front of us is to be aware of them and their needs. And then there's listening. If we want to care for the people that are right in front of us, we must actively listen to the things they say. Then we got interpretation. If we want to care for the people in front of us, we have to think about how our words can be interpreted, and not only about what we meant by our words. Finally, sensitivity. If we want to care for the people in front of us, we must be sensitive to not only their experience and their perspectives, but we also need to be sensitive to what they might not fully understand or what we might not fully understand. Sometimes our hearts might be right, but our mouths aren't. We don't need to have superpowers to change the world, guys. But we do need to be willing to care for others the same way that Jesus cared for us. Sometimes the most heroic things that we can do are the smallest but most meaningful things. Heroes care for the people that are right in front of them. This week, who are you going to heroically care for?